All right, welcome back to Who to Trust by KDH 1997. Again, the author KDH, aka Luna or aka Chuckles, as sometimes I call them because they like laughing a lot, is here with us. And there they go, proving why I call them Chuckles. Again, this is not professional at all. It is just fun fan-made stuff. I will be posting the link to the work in the description. Please go down and comment on each story. Give kudos if it's your first time reading it. And just all in all, I don't know what to say. All in all, just give proper respect. That's all I'll say. And I've heard a playback of my own voice. That's great. Okay. All right. So first things first. That's the wrong chapter. Hold up. This is chapter 15. It's not chapter 15. It's chapter 16. I hit the wrong key. There you go. Chapter 16, Meaning Behind Superstar. Getting to the entrance of El Chips, Gregory ducked underneath the gate, as it didn't open fully.
What is the point of this thing? Why doesn't it open fully? This is the second one to do this.
He grumbled softly. Sure, it was good for drawing less attention, even if the staff bots didn't seem to notice somehow. It just seemed like a poor setup or something. Freddy stood outside.
A number of ni- ah, At night, a number of rolling gates will be given only partial power to save on energy. It is a very wise move to lower electric- electricity wastage.
Freddy defended, enthusiast. Ah, God damn it. This is why I don't like Chuck Link when I'm reading. Freddy defended, enthusiast. I love how I read this the first time when I'm not recording perfectly, but now as I'm actually recording, it decides to say, nah, fuck you. Freddy defended, and I don't even know what the issue is. Is it trying to go into another language?
Should we restart this?
No. My suffering is going to be on recording. I don't give a fuck. Freddy defended, enthusiast. Okay, give me a second. Freddy defended enthusiastically. I had to get my brain to process English. Freddy then continued.
Though it also means that I cannot follow you in. You must make your way through El Chips to the arcade and then to the back. Once there, you will find the prize counter and the fire escape will be at the very back. Good luck, superstar.
Gregory looked over at the feet just standing on the other side.
Are you just going to wait there?
Freddy's feet shifted.
What do you mean?
Gregory raised an eyebrow.
There just isn't a point in you standing there. You can't get in to help me, and if I get to the exit, I won't be coming back here.
Freddy made a noise in agreement.
I see. That is very true. I just worry for you. Shouldn't I remain nearby if you need to run out so I could hide you?
Gregory groaned.
For how long? Do you expect me to get in trouble instantly? If not, then I would have options to run. I can use the camera to see around a bit and plan my route. Why don't you just go recharge or something? I can call you to me if I run out here and need help anyway. So wouldn't it be best to have a full battery at that
Gregory suggested. He fidgeted where he was as he watched Gregory's feet. There's a lot of feet watching Gregory.
time? I suppose that is true. Stay safe, superstar.
With that, Freddie left. Gregory sighed in relief. "Oh, Gregory!" He nearly jumped out of his skin at the sudden voice behind him. Turning around, he grabbed his chest.
Don't scare me like that!
Taking an offered hand, he let himself be pulled up from where he fell in shock. A mid-flight or fight I said that backwards. A mid-fight or flight attempt at getting distance. The yellow painted hand let go as it pulled back to the owner's side. Hey, I did not mean to make you fall. Are you hurt? You aren't hurt, are you? I brought some first aid supplies if we need it. Gregory shook his head.
I'm fine, son. You just startled me.
Son nodded. His sun spikes brightened a bit. Thank goodness. Are you ready to go? We'll have to be very careful going through here since it is quite dark. Still, we should be able to manage if our plan works. Gregory nodded, but found his eyes drifting to a picture of food on the wall. Sun noticed easily as he turned to it as well. Would you like me to make you something? Your stomach is completely empty, which isn't good for a growing child. Folding his arms, Gregory gave him an annoyed look before simply sighing.
I would blame you, but this isn't your fault. Instead, it is that Vanessa person for messing with the food.
Sun's spike shifted a bit at our name, interestingly becoming a slightly darker color. It wasn't that the color dimmed or brightened, it just became a darker color. Is that how he shows anger? His spikes returned to normal. Wait, okay, yeah. His spikes were turning to normal. Sun stopped? Why am I saying stop? Sun stepped behind the counter. I will be right back with something for you to eat, little sunflower.
Little sunflower.
Gregory muttered back, not really liking it. Sun heard him, stopping from entering the kitchen. "Oh, sorry if you don't like it, but it's just a thing all of us do to show our affection. I can just refer to you by name if you prefer." Going over to one of the tables, Gregory sat down.
All of you animatronics call kids little sunflower?
Sun laughed a bit. "Oh, no, no, Gregory. How do I call you new friend when we met? For me, it's always where I start, but animatronic has their own nicknames. Not only that, the more affection we have for that child will determine what we call them. I guess that isn't really known to the public though, so it'd be best to keep secrets," Sun explained, putting a finger to his mouth. As he finished explaining that, Sun went in the back and got to work. Well, wait, yeah, I want to make sure I was reading it right. I must admit, I am not the best with this style of cooking, but it's not common to me to be well versed in it. Gregory groaned a bit as he rested his cheek against his hand. His yellow, his yellow, yes, uh, the limb is a color. His elbow on the table to support it. He was expecting great food after hearing that. Probably burnt or over seasoned or something. I'm pretty sure you meant to say he wasn't.
No, it was supposed to be sarcasm.
Oh, okay. That completely went over my head. Shush. Still, he had eaten moldy food out of a dumpster before to survive. A bit of burnt or overseasoned food won't stop him. A moment later, Sun came out with a plate with steaming burritos in his right hand and a large bowl with chips and smaller bowl with salsa in the middle. Was and a smaller bowl with salsa in the middle of that in his left hand. "I do hope you enjoy it, little sunflower," Sun said as he placed them on the table. Gregory began drooling as he smelled and looked at it. Quickly grabbing a burrito, he began wolfing it down. Sun panicked a bit as he leaned forward from where he sat on his knees on the floor. "Slow down, little sunflower. You don't want to choke," he exclaimed. Gregory chewed the food in his mouth before gulping it down.
I thought you said you weren't good with this kind of food.
Um, Son nodded. I've never cooked before, to be honest. The most I ever did before was to make a sandwich, cut some fruit, or mix up a salad for the children. Wait, or mix up. Okay, why am I getting tongue-tied? Okay, today's just not my day. I'm just so exhausted. All right, I've never cooked before, to be honest. The most I ever did before was to make a sandwich, cut some fruit, or mix up a salad for the children if they needed food. Does that mean you like it? He asked excitedly, his rays wiggling with his energy. Gregory nodded as he took another bite and stared down at the spikes. Wait, and stared at the spikes on Sun's food. They had just swirled around his face a bit. Is that excitement or just how happy it was? Sun nodded his wait. Sun sighed as his lights dim a little. I'm sorry you have to keep this from your close friend, all because I think he might have done something. Gregory paused in his eating, having begun the chips after eating the second burrito.
What do you mean by good friend?
He asked, putting the chips his yeah, okay. He asked, putting the chip and salsa in his mouth as he continued eating. He was starting to get full, but more so thirsty.
Sure, I trust him a bit, but I would consider us close.
Gregory thought to himself. Sun laughed a little. I already told you. Gregory tilted his head in confusion as he chewed. Each of us has have nicknames to give to kids, and more than one at that, to show our how affectionate we feel to them. Oh, so it has to do with how Gregory calls him Superstar? It was all Gregory could figure. He spat his food out in shock at what Sun said next. Superstar is something Freddy never calls anyone. It is his highest affection rating. All kids grow up and leave before reaching it. Not even customers who visit him every day for months got called that. They must be pretty special to one another. And that's the end of chapter 16. Uh, so goddamn mentally exhausted. And before people ask why I'm making so many goddamn mistakes, it's because I dealt with a small child all day.
As he described it to me, the small child kidnapped him.
Yes, small child put little wrist harness thing that usually goes on a child and adult to keep the child from running away. Child put that, but somehow managed to put them on both my wrists and just drag me around a bowling alley for like one end to the other, and I had to stop it from walking out the doors and trying to drag me outside the doors with him. Oh yes, that was fun. When the tea does not feel wet enough for you. All right, so let's continue on to chapter 11, the Pinky Promise. If I can click the
You mean
right
17?
page. Did I say 11?
Yes.
Chapter 17, the Pinky Promise. What? That's still sunflower. I wondered that you would. Sun called out, worried, as Gregory coughed from a few bites of inhaled salsa and chip crumbs. Seeing he was calming down, not Gregory, that's Sun. Yes, holy, Sun became Gregory, confirmed. Seeing he was calming, seeing he was calming down, Sun began trying to wipe some of the mess off of him with a napkin. Gregory shook it off and turned to Sun with a shocked and confused look.
People don't get called superstar even after months. I only met him tonight.
Sun's eyes flashed a bit. Was that his form of a blink? Also, Gregory just noticed that Sun did have eyes. They were just yellow, making them blend in for the most part on his face. You just met? Did you help us? It is unheard of to get close fast by helping or perhaps just sharing common interests. To get Max so quickly is so strange. Sun tried to understand it as he spoke, looking around at the floor in thought. Gregory shook his head as he went to the soda dispenser and filled a cup, downing the drink to help soothe his throat and wet his mouth after all that food.
He started calling me superstar almost instantly. I thought it was something he called everyone.
He explained. Sun shook his head as he stood up. Far from it. That is too unusual. He normally starts at super fan, goes to best fan, rock star, megastar, and superstar.
Wouldn't Megastar be higher?
Gregory asked. Sun lifted his hands up to his shoulders. Boy. Sun lifted his hands up to his shoulders as he shrugged. He said it sounds better to be superstar. I messed it up. He said it sounds better to be a superstar. Gregory sighed.
What does this mean, though? It can't be a coincidence he started calling me that instantly if what you said is true.
Sun sighed as well, grabbing the dishes and cleaning up as he did. I have my thoughts, but I have no proof. And honestly, I hope I'm wrong. Not wanting to talk. Wait, okay, I want to make sure. Not wanting to talk about it and finishing cleaning, Sun held his hand towards Gregory. And I see your flashlight? We should just see if our idea works. Huffing, Gregory handed over Nick. Huffing, Gregory handed over said flashlight that he had gotten at the daycare. Nodding, Sun, who had his head tilted to not hit the ceiling the entire time, began walking towards the arcade. Walking over, avoiding a single staff bot who was cleaning, the two made their way towards the arcade.
No one will miss you.
A voice yelled. Sun froze as they both stood in front of the entry between El Chicks and the arcade. I totally did not almost said it. El Chicks. Roxy, why did she say such a thing? Called to insult children, he said, his spikes shrinking. Gregory shrugged.
All of them have been pretty violent toward me. Maybe it's just you and Freddie who are different.
Sun shook his head as he turned to the boy. No, every one of us is programmed not to insult any children or speak ill of them. Admittedly, we are able to report on misdemeanors in front of them or complain after no customers are around, but she's intending for you to hear this and be hurt. Gregory jumped.
Son, shh!
He whispered yelled, placing his finger over his mouth. Sun jumped a bit, placing his hand over his mouth. Sorry, little superstar. Gregory rolled his eyes before a question popped up.
What level even is that?
I hear you dying laughing right now. It's because my voice
You
cracked.
said no, it's because you said little superstar instead of little sunflower.
Shut up. Shut up. Okay. Sun looked at him curiously as he explained. Wait.
The nickname. You said new friend is your startup, so what is little sunflower?
Sun clapped his hands excitedly. Little sunflower is what I like to call people who I like. I usually ever use it for people who are nice to me. After you made that pinky promise, I just had to upgrade you. Before, back at the daycare. Seeing Sun walk away dejectedly, Gregory looked at the floor with a huff. He hated it. He hated just how much he felt he could understand the yellow animatronic. Though it wasn't perfect, from what he saw and experienced firsthand, the animatronic was just wanting to protect his brother, his only family. Gregory had once had something similar. They weren't blood related at all, just a younger orphan at the building. He was a timid person then, more than now. He barely spoke. It was ironic that the younger kid was defending him for it. It was ironic that the younger kid was defending him from some of the older ones, or would try to cheer him up when people came to adopt them, only to overlook or downright insult them. Then, one day a new kid came in. At the time, he was 6 and the other boy was 5. The new kid was 9 and much bigger than them both. Gregory decided to avoid him, sensing that they were the mean type by his demeanor. But the other kid wasn't so lucky. The new kid targeted him as he was the smallest. He bullied him for several weeks. It was the first time Gregory stood up to someone, trying to make him stop, but he failed. The new kid got very angry and, not paying any attention, shoved the smaller boy into the road one day, right as a car went speeding by. He didn't make it. He was dead before the ambulance got there. Gregory remembered how helpless he felt, not being able to help someone he cared about. Noticing something in front of him, he looked to see that sun was already back with the ice. How long had he been blanking out for? Taking the insulated ice pack, placing it on his neck, Gregory looked at the downcast individual in front of him.
I'll take you to parts and services as long as you make sure I get out of this alive.
Sun jolted, his spikes shaking as his lights fluctuated. He wasn't sure if he should believe what he heard, that he would say that. Slowly raising his head to look at Gregory, his voice shook. You, you really mean? Really? He lifted a shaking hand, reaching towards the boy. Gregory frowned before doing what he figured might be best given what kind of job this animatronic had. Wait, okay. Gregory frowned before doing what he figured best given what kind of job this animatronic had, lifting his left hand and held his pinky up.
I pinky promise.
Sun's shaky hand came to his, and they bounded their pinkies together. Gregory nodded.
I swear I will take you there. Do you promise to help me in return?
Shaky but happy sounding, Sun nodded as he spoke. Yes, I'll do everything I can to keep you safe, both on the way and all the way till you are safely home. Sun said, sounding ready to cry with happy tears. Back to the present. Gregory looked at his left pinky. He still felt conflicted. He could easily go out the fire escape now and be free. Yet he was taking a detour that put him at risk. Shaking his head a bit, he steeled himself. Even if it was someone or something completely different, he would do it for his lost brother. He wouldn't let what happened to him happen to Sun. And that's the end of chapter 17. Next, chapter 18. Get some tea in my system. Uh, so far, so good. We're getting through these chapters a lot faster than we did last few times. Uh, for that, or they're just shorter than the last chapters.
I'm not sure. They might be. It might also be less errors, so we're not backing up as much. Not sure.
Uh, You say that as I'm making mistakes every other sentence. We're not mentioning the little superstar. Shush. All right, let's see here.
I'm
All right.
gonna have a blast trying to do Roxy on this.
Yep, I was about to say, let's get started on chapter 18. The talk with Roxy. Sun glanced over at Gregory, seeming to notice his thoughts a bit. He scratched the back of his head, his spikes shake. I say two words that are both wrong. His spikes shrinking a little. Wait. Okay, yeah, I want to make sure it was me, actually me. I should probably apologize. I should probably apologize, he said softly. If I say it softly, it would not pick up on the microphone, so bear with me. The boy looked at him confused.
Apologize? What for?
Sun began pressing his index fingers together nervously, like he would get in trouble.
Well, he was the one who pointed to L chips after hearing what Freddy said. But the truth is, the fire escape has been broken for weeks.
What?
He quickly covered his mouth and glanced around. A flashlight turned towards him before it caught sight of him. He hid around the wait. Okay, before it caught sight of him, he hid around the corner. Seeing the light scan the area before turning around, the soft sound of the spot wheels moving away, he let out the breath he was holding. Coming out and going back to Sun, he quickly began questioning him.
What do you mean it's been broken for weeks? How could it even be broken?
How does a fire escape break? Sun shook his head. I do not have the how or why. I simply know it went out of order. It is weird that Freddy didn't know that when I did, and I normally don't leave the daycare. Gregory just stared at him, and Sun shrugged. Wait, is it Sun? Okay, yeah. I want to make sure it was Sun first. Well, kind of just missed the report sent to us. He is a busy guy, and it isn't impossible for him to have not seen it. Greg, God, okay, I read Gregory as I'm trying to say Sun. Sun tried to reason, but even quite he didn't quite seem to believe his own words. Gregory facepalmed.
He's working with Vanessa, isn't he?
He muttered. He tapped his foot as Sun tried to say otherwise, diving into his own thought. If Freddy was working with Vanessa, why did he help him at all? He could have easily just taken him to her. There was even that time in the wait. There was even that time in the tunnels where he couldn't escape, but Freddy didn't sell him out. All a misunderstanding, right? Sun finished. His spikes were a bit erratic at some wait. His spikes were a bit erratic as some were going in while others were coming out randomly.
Um, what?
Gregory asked, having not been listening. Sun made a sound like he was clearing his throat. I was just saying that it could all be a misunderstanding. There's nothing defined. Wait, definitely. There's nothing definite to say it isn't a coincidence. Plus, he is a good friend of mine. One I know would never harm a child. Gregory nodded, but still felt uneasy.
Well, he isn't acting like the others are anyway.
He said, looking at Roxy from a distance. She was patrolling around the area, clearly looking for him. Sun nodded, getting up from where he had been on his knees to be closer to Gregory's eye level. Oh, this our idea will work. If not, I will still open the doors for you by taking the long way around if I can't remotely. Taking a deep sigh, that's a deep sigh. Yes. Taking a deep breath, Gregory nodded and took a few steps away from Sun. His eyes hyper focused on him. Wait. His eyes hyper focused on him should their plan fail. Sun did the same, acting to take a deep breath before taking the borrowed flashlight and pointing it at his face directly and stepping into the darker room. Sunspike withdrew a bit as he curled into himself. Um, That's a lot of audio sounds that my mic will most definitely not pick up because it sucks. Gregory moved further away with wide eyes, expecting at any moment for Sun to turn into Moon. After a few seconds, Sun calmed down a bit and unfurled himself. Taking a few breaths, he turned to the boy and gave a thumbs up with his free hand. It seems there is just enough ambient light around, combined with the flashlight, to let me keep Mooney asleep. We should probably move quickly, though. He is tossing around a lot, and I'm worried he'll open his eyes if I lose focus. Not bothering to ask what he meant, as he didn't want to waste time, he walked over to the friendly animatronic. Following behind Sun, the distance since he had it to sneak, and Sun was just walking through without need, they made their way through the arcade. About to go to the right towards the security door, Gregory gulped as he heard Roxy coming towards him. If he didn't hide quickly, she would find him. Turning his head this way and that, he quickly found a closed vendor's cart with partly open blinders. Jumping in silently, he pulled it closed almost completely, as he didn't want to risk being stuck. Sun turned as he saw this happening, keeping the light on his face as he did. His yellow pupils saw Roxy coming over, searching left and right. Eyes caught the blinders.
Weren't they more open last time?
She growled and walked forward. Sun panicked and quickly walked over, blocking her path. Why, hello, Miss Roxy, he sung loudly, greeting her. She stared at him vacantly.
The attendant. Why are you here?
She questioned emotionlessly. Sun stiffened take before taking a step back. I must say, man, what you aren't calling me by God damn it. I see. I haven't quite heard that you aren't calling me by name. Have I done something to offend you?
Why are you here?
She yelled, stomping her right foot. Sun held his right hand up, trying to appease her. I was just looking for a child, he lied. Her ears twitched.
You're looking for him too?
Sun nodded, feeling a sting of pain for lying. Whoops, you see, he came to my daycare, and then the lights turned off. Before I could tell him he was banned, he slipped out the doors. Roxy looked at the blinders. Where, yeah, okay. My brain decided it wants to try and say I said it wrong, but I didn't. Roxy looked at the blinders where Gregory was hiding. By the way, I heard you a second ago asking about the blinders. He looked back at Sun. Well, I was the one to close them. It just looked disorderly the way it was before. Couldn't help it, you see. If Sun were able to, he would be sweating bullets from between the strain of holding his brother asleep and the stress of the situation. If he failed either of them, he knew it would be the end of Gregory. The end for Gregory, not end of Gregory, but even the same thing. For a moment, Roxy turned and began walking away.
All right. Let us know if you find the kid. He should be coming through here.
Sun tilted his head. Why do you believe that? Roxy waved her hand dismissively.
Freddy told us.
Freddy, you son of a bitch. Well, that was the end of chapter 18 and the end of this video. Again, if you like the video, do whatever it is that you normally do with videos, but mainly focus on the story, which will be posted in the description. This video would most likely be out by the 12th, and I believe that, yeah, because we already have chapters 13 through 15 being uploaded tomorrow, my time, because not my time, my day, because, yeah. Well, like I said, if you enjoyed the video, please like and go to the actual story and comment what you like on each chapter. Um, these stories are updated almost, not almost. These stories are updated daily, and right now there is one ending being worked on, and that is the star ending.
Yeah,
Correct?
the
Question,
star
because
ending. Star.
there are so many endings you are working on, and I'm trying to figure out which one you were working on because my brain decided it does not want
Yeah,
to remember names.
yeah, I'm working
So
on
yeah,
5 different endings, but Star is the one coming out right now.
yep,
I am having people try to vote to see what they would like to come out next between the others.
yeah. Well, and also just another reminder for people, there is a Discord link inside the description. Um, It gives you update ping, so you don't have to worry about looking at your email to see if they update or coming back every once in a while to find said update ping from email. And there's also many, many other things, as well as opening for people if they want to try their hand at voice acting as characters, either for fun or wanting to try and be an official character if they wanted to. Again, reminder, this is all fun, fan-made stuff. Don't worry about sounding good or being good at all. It's just for fun. As you can already tell, I sound like shit with voice acting. Chuckles over here sounds decent, other than the fact that at one point that Roxy sounded a bit like Freddy. And don't worry, I'm not actually being mean to them. I'm just teasing them from like before we actually record this video. We both made the conclusion they sounded exactly like Freddy when doing
Yeah, I
Roxy.
think I was the one that said it first. I think I was the one that said it first, and you were going to say, "Yeah, I was going to say."
Yeah, no. Okay, what happened when you said that was I was about to make a comment saying that you sound like Freddy. And when you asked how did it sound, and I'm like, you know what? No, I'll let you hear it yourself.
Ah.
And then afterwards they knew exactly why I said I'll let you hear it for yourself. So yeah, again, we're not professionals. If you wish to join the
Oh man,
Discord
I'm wondering
server,
how I'm gonna
go
actually
ahead.
sound when I'm trying Chica.
We already know how you're gonna
I'm
sound
sorry.
like when you try Chica. We already have that recorded. I can always
Oh
replay
god.
it for you later.
Ah, I'm sorry, I cut you off when you were doing the ending thing.
No, it's fine. Okay. But yeah, always I lost the website. No website, I lost the application. Okay. Again, go give the actual story and writer kudos and comments. They update daily. They're working on the story ending, and hopefully we can get caught up to said ending where there could be like a 3-day break between having to voice lines. Because right now we're just having to rapidly catch up. At least I have to rapidly catch up because desktop decides it does not want to work. So yeah, here we are, draining our voices every single day, trying to record as many videos as possible. Okay. Well, other than that, see you in the next video where we'll definitely be murdering our voices again with Roxy and all that. Because I know there's more Roxy, more Freddy.
Actually, I
Eh.
don't remember there being Roxy or Freddy in the next few. I think
Oh, did she
I
just
know
walk
Moon
away?
shows back up. I think she did, yeah.
Oh. So Roxy just drops that ball and be like, okay, see ya. With no other comment at all, just see ya. Okay, well then, I guess I die with Moon. Rest in peace, my vocal cords. Alright. Well, again, hope you enjoy. I hope a few of you start laughing at these videos, or at least enjoy them for like um, the comedic relief. Comedic. What is the word that you use when you add relief? Hold up. Medical relief, I guess. I don't know. I'm tired.
Comedic relief?
Is that what I said the
Comical
first time?
relief?
That's it. Comical relief. That's it. All right. Yeah. Enjoy the comical relief. See you guys next time. Bye.